Peace and blessings, amazing patrons, friends, cherished beings. I just wanted to send, I've been thinking of this community, of you, of each of you so much, so often. I just felt compelled to send a small update video. And yes, small, I promise. This one, I'm getting, well, I don't know about getting better, but I'm trying. So much is moving and flowing in and alongside Intrinsic paths there. I just want to give a quick frame of things I'm working on and moving through, just so you're connected, and because you are so much of what makes this possible. You are with me in all my steps and aching and creating. As a lot of you know, a primary thing I'm working a lot on, mostly in kind of bigger chunks, because it's hard for me to kind of fit it into kind of smaller time frames. So I've got these monthly chunks of time that I protect for working on the manuscript and the writing. So that's happening. I'll be doing another 5-day thing in a couple weeks, meeting with an acquisitions editor this week to just talk through just things for next year. And the manuscript is due in August, so that continues to happen. Lots of good things moving there. Lots of it's just deep work for me to kind of drum up words that I trust around the things I want to move in this book. I'm just so grateful for each of you for being alongside and helping to nourish that process. Lots moving with Walk to Connect Co-op, just in terms of experimenting with programming and being a grassroots cooperative. It's mostly volunteer run now, as many of you can imagine. We're experimenting with this program called Movement Circles, which some of you might know. So kind of creating a training and leadership walking opportunity for different individuals, organizations, communities within kind of this smaller 5 to 8 people recurring context, leaning in to have people commit to 3 months. Our next training is in a couple weeks. I think it's April 24th. If you know anyone, or if you're curious, just a good invitation to get creative for how we invite people to move the way we're made to move, with courage and tenderness and equity and love and creativity and all those things. Been doing a lot of walking movement meditations, both publicly but also privately with some different groups and organizations. Some of you, I've linked below, you've seen the Insight Timer space. I'm just experimenting there. Ooh, we welcome the breeze. Hopefully it's not too loud. And the airplanes and the chickens and all the things. So I just invite you to check out those meditations, share them, invite people in. It's unique, I know, to have my or anyone's voice kind of moving with you when you're trying to get out and connect with nature. And I just trust so much the relationship of allowing and inviting things to come out, or for us to go deeper in our hearts and in our bodies when we're moving. And you'll notice there's a couple of those invitations that lean into kind of a shared context. So like 2 people or a group listening together and then processing together as they move. I'm experimenting again alongside COVID and the pandemic with the youth walking movement program, youth leader program in the San Luis Valley. And so, as many of you know, that's mostly volunteer, and or supported by patrons, which allows me to do a lot of that program in the way that I can without using the grant funding that we get for the young people and the programming itself, and some other folks that are helping with it. So that's exciting. And we're going to have a smaller cohort of kids, maybe 3, maybe 4, just to keep it more simple. We might lean into more self-guided walks, routes, heritage, connecting with local historians, So this is in the area where San Luis, Colorado is, on Tonito. Just so much beautiful, soulful, rooted history and context there. So that's exciting. Lots of stuff with Soul to Soul Sisters and the Facing Racism Alumni Network. Lots of weaving there, which is just a beautiful, beautiful, beloved relationship to that network, to that team. If you're at all curious, please consider leaning into the fall Facing Racism cohort. It would just be an honor and a gift to have you alongside in that way. I'd love to support you however I can in that discernment. So please reach out. And just ongoing creating art. I'm going to be leaning in and experimenting with a couple arts markets this summer. Just putting art out there, gifting it out, creating unique trades, and then, you know, also selling it. So that there's so many other things, but I just wanted to plant those seeds, connect you with some of the things that keep me moving and aching and organizing and creating all hours of the day. I'm also planning, I'll send more info as I get more clarity around it, but still loosely planning for this longer walking experience next year. That's exciting. I would love for all of y'all to find a way to join me for that in some way. Of course, even just energetically, but I'll keep you posted. The final thing is I am seeking just, continuing to seek a little more nourishment, not from a more is more standpoint, but I'm really, when I breathe deeply into some vision around intrinsic paths in my own capacity, I would just really love to have a little more, I would just love to have just some creative nourishment for someone to help me with some of my outreach and administrative stuff. That is starting to take over, and so having a part-time person helping me get organized would be a dream. So if it is on your heart to just help extend and expand this patron network, please feel encouraged to invite your peers. If you have just been nurtured or have been blessed by this journey in your own way, please help me spread the word, invite people in. No pressure ever, and no pressure ever to stay. As always, this is a flowing space, so please don't ever feel weird about leaving, about coming back, about it is a flowing stream, and I am just endlessly grateful for how you all have and continue to nourish and be alongside. So 8 minutes, y'all. That's it. I'm closing it. So peace and blessings. Grateful. Would love to hear from you, and would love to just, if we haven't connected in a while, please reach out. And just a deep breath in, deep breath, breathing in self-compassion and courage. And planet compassion, care, protection, and courage slowly out. Compassion and courage deeply in. Compassion and courage and protection slowly out. Okay, peace.